every morning at 6:30 a.m. Ethan stood in front of the bathroom mirror and did the same thing. He looked at his face, and then he looked away. Not because he didn't recognize himself, but because he didn't like what he saw. Not the face itself, but the story behind it. 27 years old, a decent job, a small apartment, a quiet life. From the outside, nothing was wrong. But inside Ethan's head, there was a constant noise, a voice that never rested. You should be doing better, look at others. You're falling behind. Ethan didn't wake up unhappy. He became unhappy by comparing. Before brushing his teeth, he checked his phone. LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. A former classmate just bought a house. Another launched a startup. Someone younger became a manager. Someone else was traveling the world. Ethan scrolled slowly. Each post felt like a silent accusation. What are you doing with your life? By the time he left for work, his confidence was already exhausted. At the office, Ethan was invisible. Not because he was bad at his job. He was actually good. But he never felt enough. When his coworker Daniel spoke confidently in meetings, Ethan thought, he's smarter than me. When his manager praised someone else, Ethan thought, I'll never be like that. Even compliments made him uncomfortable. Good job, Ethan. His mind replied, they're just being polite. Comparison had trained him to reject himself. At lunch, Ethan sat alone, scrolling again. He compared salaries he didn't know, lives he didn't live, stories he didn't understand. And every comparison ended the same way. I'm behind. What Ethan didn't realize was that comparison had slowly stolen his ability to see himself clearly. He no longer measured his life by growth, effort, or values. He measured it by other people's highlights. One evening, after another long and quiet day, Ethan missed his subway stop. He didn't notice. His mind was replaying an Instagram post. A guy his age, same degree, same city. Now successful, confident, admired. Ethan finally looked up. He was standing in a part of the city he rarely visited. Old buildings. Small stores. Less noise. As he walked, he noticed a small bookstore with a faded sign. Something made him stop. Inside, the store smelled like paper and time. Behind the counter sat an old man, reading a book as if the world had no urgency. Ethan wandered through the shelves. A book caught his attention. It had no flashy title, just simple words on the cover. Your life is not late. Ethan opened it. The first line read, you are not behind. You're just not someone else. Something tightened in his chest. He bought the book without thinking. At the counter, the old man looked at him and said calmly, that one finds people when they're tired of racing. Ethan forced a smile and left. That night, for the first time in months, he didn't open social media. He opened the book. Each page felt like it was written for him. Not motivational cliches, not fake positivity, just honest truth. Comparison, the book said, is a shortcut to self-hate, because you're using someone else's path to judge your own. Ethan closed the book and stared at the ceiling. He realized something painful. He had never asked himself what he wanted, only what he lacked compared to others. The next day, the voice returned. You're still behind, but this time, Ethan answered. Behind whom? The question felt strange. At work, when Daniel spoke confidently, Ethan didn't shrink. He listened. He learned. When someone else succeeded, Ethan felt the jealousy, but didn't feed it. He noticed it and let it pass. That night, he wrote something down. I don't need to win their race. Days turned into weeks. Ethan didn't become rich. He didn't become famous. His life didn't magically transform. But something deeper changed. He stopped checking social media first thing in the morning. He started reading, walking. Thinking. He started measuring his days by effort, not outcomes. One evening, Ethan visited the bookstore again. The old man smiled. Slower steps, he said. That means you're finally walking your own road. Ethan smiled back. For the first time, it felt real. Months later, Ethan stood in front of the mirror again. Same face, different eyes. He didn't look away. He saw a man who was learning, growing, becoming at his own pace. Comparison hadn't disappeared completely, but it no longer controlled him, because Ethan finally understood something simple. You don't fall behind in life. You only fall behind when you stop being yourself. Moral of the story: comparison is not motivation. It is self-rejection. The moment you stop measuring your life with other people's rulers, you begin to see your own progress. Your journey is not late. It is just yours. If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who feels behind in life. And remember, you don't need to be ahead of others. You only need to be honest with yourself.